All right, boys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. We are here for episode number 24 of our Winnipeg Jets franchise mode. If you guys missed out on the last episode, we finished midway through the season 23, 15, and 3 with Cole Perfetti leading our team, in points with 40. He's on pace for about 80 points. Now, we're in that a bit of a weird tweener year where, we want to make the playoffs, we want to push for the playoffs and kind of just see what happens, but we also don't want to be sacrificing too much of our youth and our potential draft picks and things like that to get there. So most of the comments were kind of about just smaller changes that we can go through, but we obviously go through every single comment here on the channel. So let's start it off with Alexander, who says, great episode. Here are some pro scouting suggestions. Number 1, there are 9 to 10 defined top 9 forwards on the team. Meanwhile, there are only 3 top 4 defensemen. If an addition is to be made, it should be on defense, and that would automatically help the PK too, because guys like Perfetti, Dano, Velarde, those guys are all capable of killing penalties up front. Normally, he's in favor of going all in every single year, but we just won, and the team is not as strong as a contender as it was in years prior. We do not have the Yosis of the world, the Trevor Moores, or Connor Hellebuck playing at his best. So it's probably more of a retool and kind of see what happens type of year. And I do agree with that for sure. Then he says, based on the previous point, there's no reason to spend assets for big additions. Just play the players that will be instrumental when we're legit again and in the right spots. So he wants to swap Scheifele and Besser, and then also swap Sagan and Barker for the reasons of just try to play the younger players a bit more and then see what happens in the playoffs. So appreciate the thoughts and comments as always, Alex. We love to hear from you and all your suggestions, and I think we're going to take a lot of them to heart. Then there is Fresh Bread, who says, great episode, kind of a slow start to the first half, but we're definitely looking to have a good season, and I agree with that. I feel like this team needs a better third-line center than Lambert, a two-way forward who can win faceoffs and play great D. We need a better right-side third-pairing defenseman as well. So I'm not entirely sure what Fresh means by that. I mean, Brad Lambert is definitely still on the younger side, but an 82 overall two-way forward center is not bad. I mean, he doesn't have great defensive awareness for sure. He's got 91 stick checking. He can win faceoffs, but yeah, I do agree he's not a fantastic third line center. I mean, what's his face-off percentage? His face-off percentage is like 54%, usually in the 50 range, which is pretty good. But yeah, his defensive awareness is definitely a bit low to be third line center. So I do actually agree. I thought it was a bit higher at like 83 or 82. I thought it was a bit higher, but yeah, now that I'm looking at it again, I do agree that Fresh is right on this one. Then he gives us a list of defensemen or centers that we can add, giving us Jake Evans, Adam Boqvist, Adam Lowry, Joel Eriksson-Ek, William Karlsson, Shane Pinto, Jake McBain, Zach Whitecloud, Alex Pietrangelo, and all those types of guys down there. So we love the comments, Fresh, and I'm going to be keeping that list in my mind when we go into the trade deadline and get a little bit closer to it. And then the final comment is going to come back again to Alexander, who says, just one trade suggestion, maybe trading Tucker Poolman or Ville Heinola and a second for Jacob Trouba at $3.5 million, 50% retained. He's a big right-handed defenseman and pretty much a more polished and maybe more efficient version of JBD who could definitely help the PK. And I do agree, but I'm finding it so hard to decide to switch up this second line who has just been lights out for the past 2 seasons now. We brought Jacob Bernard-Docker in halfway through last season, and he was a plus like 21, and this year he's been a plus 7 as well, so not as proficient as last year, but he's definitely still getting it done there with Zach Werenski, the 88 overall on his line. And honestly, if guys are playing well together, I don't see the reason to split them up. Ville Heinola is playing okay with Mats Dahl as well, so the only thing is it's a -3, which I do not like at all. Giving Mats Dahl a -3 is really unfortunate. I would love to be able to play Mats Dahl up with Jonas Brodin. Maybe that's a next year type move, but for right now, he's going to have to ride it out on the third line. But yes, we will be making a change probably in the defensive category. Now, with all those comments and suggestions out of the way, I think we're going to start simulating a few games, and when things start to go wrong, then maybe try to switch it up just a little bit here. So we're going to go about a week into January 20th. That's when I have to do my scouting as well, so I think it makes the most sense here. There's a win against Nashville. Good. Okay, and now JBD has been injured until January 23rd, so we'll have to get somebody else in there. All right, and Matt Scott Dahl is going to assign in here on the second line to play with Zach Werenski, and then the third line, we're just going to throw Tucker Pullman in there to play alongside of Ville Heinola. Pretty easy switch for that line. Then we get a win over the Chicago Blackhawks, another 5-2 victory, and now we're playing the San Jose Sharks here. Can we get another one over them? A 2-1 loss. All right, fair enough. And we have dropped to a wild card spot despite winning 3 in a row. I'm not sure how that happens. The Avalanche are 1 point ahead of us, and our division is incredibly tight here, boys. I mean, 3 points separate first place, and 4 points separate first place and fifth place. So a very tight division. Let's jump into this Calgary Flames game and see if we can catch a dub over them real quickly. So first period is underway, and that's 2-1 for Calgary. Again, we're like 0-6 or something when we go in to see the games in this year, so that's not great at all. Second period, though, 2-2. Mats Dahl, that might be his, no, that's not his first NHL goal, I don't think, but he's going to tie things up against Mads Søgaard, and then Cole Perfetti is going to score to get us the 3-2 lead on Mads Søgaard, but then, of course, Trevor Boyd, I think, scores on Jet Greaves, and then, yeah, there we go. We just fall apart in the third period. As always, Jet Greaves falling apart like paper mache out there in the third period. Holy cow. Oh my gosh, let's just get out of here. 6-3 loss to the Calgary Flames. 3 stars of the night. There they are. And what a horrible performance from the Jets. How did the it's hard to move Besser up when he's -3 on the third line, but I did forget to make those changes, actually, so let me make some line changes here and go with what you guys said, what Alex said, and we'll see if we can maybe get some wins under our belt here. Cole Perfetti now above point per game. You love to see it. So I'm going to swap Scheifele and Besser. It's so hard, though, man. I mean, this third line has been doing great. Besser, 32 points, 45 games. It's fantastic. What has this third line been doing? 9 and 13 for Melvin Barker. I mean, okay, let's swap. Let's do the swap. Why not? Besser will go to the second line with Chaz Lucius and Nikolai Ehlers. Hopefully they can get a bit more of a plus. Mark Scheifele then will come into the third line, and maybe Melvin Barker will slot in now. Tyler Seguin, but again, guys, this third line was doing great, so it's tough for me to move them around. But we will see if Melvin Barker and Mark Scheifele can maybe be okay on this third line as well. Barker is a -2, Scheifele is a 0, and Besser is a +2. So I'll keep all those thoughts in mind as I go and do the scouting real quick, and then I will come back. Okay, boys, back from the scouting, and now it's time to start simulating a little bit here before we decide to make any changes. Let's go a week at a time. And let's see if we can't get some wins on the board. And Mark Scheifele has been injured, scheduled to return February 11th. That is not good at all. Seguin will go into the third line. And filling in for Scheifele will be Logan O'Connor, I suppose. All right, boys, so let's see. Jacob Bernard-Docker is now fully back as well. Okay, can I simulate a game? We won that game 3-2. Let's keep the simulation going as long as we're winning games. It's a 4-1 victory now. Another game here against Ottawa. They're a bad team. It's a 4-0 victory. Let's keep the train rolling, boys. 5-3, nice. I feel like simulating one game at a time is the way to go. And then a 5-4 loss, but we have crawled our way into a divisional playoff spot. If you look at your bottom right-hand corner there, we are 3 points back from the Jets. We are the same amount of points as the Blues, but we have some games in hand, and we're only 2 points ahead of the Blackhawks, though, with games in hand as well. So our spot is not necessarily safe at the current moment. Now let me throw Jacob Bernard-Docker back into the lineup. And Mats Dahl on the second line, he did pretty okay. He was a +2, so he must have been a decent plus on the second line. Tucker Pullman, though, -8. Get out of here, my friend. You got to get the heck out of here. We'll throw back to the lines that we're getting it done for us. Although it is nice to know that Mats Dahl can handle some second line time for sure. All right, now a game up against the Nashville Predators here as the trade deadline is approaching. We will go past the All-Star break, which doesn't have an All-Star game. Of course it does not, because why would EA decide to put that into the game? Mark Scheifele is fully back now. Let me do the lines once again. All right, and a quick look here. I think Brock Besser was a +1 on the second line now. But I don't think he's done too much. Melvin Barker, 24 points in 51 games. He's dropped off his pace on that third line. Tyler Seguin, 32 and 11. I mean, we didn't really get a chance to look at Seguin with, Scheifele with Melvin Barker. So we'll keep these guys for now. Scheifele is a 0. Let me do the power play lines and stuff like that. Alrighty, all I'm asking for here is a couple of healthy weeks while we get to the trade deadline. There's a 7-3 win, then followed by a 4-3 overtime loss. At least we get a point in it. Let's see this up against Carolina, and Scheifele's injured once again. Oh my God. All right, those changes are done now as we lose 11-7 against the Carolina Hurricanes. See, this is a time where EA, if I could go and look at the box score, like I could click on this game and take a look at the box score, that would be so cool to add into NHL 25, man. But, I'm sure we're going to get it in NHL 30 or something like that instead. Okay, let's go back up against the Carolina Hurricanes. Let's see. It's a loss against Nashville and then a win against the Seattle Kraken. Okay, let's simulate another 2 games here. And this is Mark Scheifele is fully back. Hang on a second, boys. All right, Scheifele's coming back into the lineup. He has dropped to an 86 now after he's had 2 injuries in a row. Let's see if he can stay healthy for once. Also, the second line, Brock Besser on it. He's been okay, but he is a -2 in those last couple of games. Not going to hold it against him too much, but just to tell you guys, just to point it out so you guys have all the information up there. Other than that, Melvin Barker's -5, 13, and 14. I think he's gotten a couple more points. He is 27 now and 57. Still not a fantastic pace by any means. Tyler Seguin is +8, Philippe Danault -1, and then Protas +1. Protas, a good goal scorer actually, is Alexei Protas. Does he shoot a lot? No, he doesn't. He just has a crazy shooting percentage. All right, fair enough. Either way, we are back now to the calendar simulation. Can I get some wins? No, it's 2 losses in a row. Good Lord, we need some help. This is where I got to make the trade, huh? Followed by a shootout win. Okay, we're in a wild card spot now. Looks like the wild card is not totally locked up either. Let's get some wins on the board here, boys. Up against against Seattle, sorry. That's a win. And now Calgary, a big game here. And Matt's Dahl. I can't go 4 games without getting an injury on this team. Oh my God. Head coach replaced player, man. I don't even care. 5-2 loss against Calgary. This is absurd, dude. I might have to lower the injury sliders. Let's go in and watch the game up against the Oilers now. First period, I'm so mad. There's Kyle Connor who's going to score on Stuart Skinner. Second period, 2-1 for us. Josh Morrissey scores, but Victor Arvidsson scores for the Edmonton Oilers. And of course, third period collapse incoming. Bring it, give it to me, Jet Greaves. Give it to me. Yep, bring it on. Pour it on. Pour it. This team is going to infuriate me, man. Oh my God. Yeah, sure. Have a blast, Edmonton. Just go on. Where's McDavid's 10 goals here, too? This is absurd. God, what a horrible game. 3 stars of the night. Yeah, sure. Okay. Well, it's trade deadline time, boys. So let me make some trades here and see if we can't get this team to be a little bit better, play a little bit more consistently here, because our spot in the playoffs is not guaranteed by any stretch of the imagination. We're 5 points ahead of the Predators for the as a wild card team, but then we're only 4 points ahead of the Canucks, same amount of games played as them. Not one, they have 1 less game played. So if they win that, we're 2 points. Yeah, we're not in the playoffs by any means here, boys. We gotta really strap up and get going here. Kyle Connor with 40 goals at least. That's kind of nice to see. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over to Tampa. We're going to ask them for Jacob Trouba. Trouba is now only an 82 overall, though, but he is still listed as a top 4 defenseman. And he's got good defense, decent skating as well, and he's got a big body. He's always good for the playoff run. Now, Tampa is a great team, though, so we're going to give them another defenseman that can play in the same. They're the same overall, right? It's just Hinola's a bit younger, so maybe they can keep him on the team for a bit longer, and they're going to get a 3rd-round pick as well. So I think it's an okay deal for both sides. What do they say to it? I also get them to retain 50% salary. What do you guys say? They will reject it. We're not comfortable retaining the salary you're asking from us. Okay, so I have to bring it down a little bit. Bring it down to like only 2.5 mil or so you're retaining. Yeah, 2 million you're retaining. What do you say to this now? Tampa accepted. Okay, we'll see it on the ice. I like that trade for us. And boys, I'm so sorry. I usually give a little recap of what the player did for us, how they performed, but I'm just so angry right now. So let me go back. Let me pay my dues to Ville Heinola, who has been an absolute trooper. He's been here for, I mean, how many years? He was drafted by Winnipeg, obviously. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14 years of his life in the. That doesn't make any sense. That does not make any sense. That he would be 14 years old. No, no, no. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for sure. 8, 9. Oh, this was the same year. Okay. 9, 10, 11. Okay. 11 years of his career, almost half of his entire life spent in the Winnipeg Jets organization. He was drafted by us in the first round, 20th overall in 2019. We've got nothing but respect for Ville Heinola. He's been a great player. Last year, minus 14. This year, 0. So dropping off a little bit here. His point totals, though, look to be increasing for this year. So definitely want to wish him the best of luck out there in Tampa. We traded him to the East. We don't want to have to see him in the playoffs every single year and then he come and smash our dreams once again. So let's hope he can have a great rest of his career here in Tampa. He's been on our team now for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. So we appreciate everything you did for us, Ville Heinola, and I wish you nothing but the best in the rest of your career. So that's Alex's comment taken care of. Now picking up Jacob Trouba to come play for us. And now I'm going to do something that I don't often do here. We're going to jump into the trade deadline because a lot of you guys have been talking about it. If you enter the trade deadline, the prices are a bit lower. You don't have to worry so much about all that stuff. There's also more people on the block, I think. Yeah, here's Teuvo Teravainen, Yaroslav Askarov. Oh, but we already knew he was on the block. Vince Dunn, Adrian Kempe, Nick Schmaltz. Look at all these guys on the block for all of these specific teams. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at third line center type players who Fresh was kind of talking about in the comments. We could also bring back Roman Josi, 86 overall, and he has super low value. He has 31 points in 62 games, though. There's a trade alert there at the bottom. I always get distracted by those, so I want to try to just keep it moving here. I don't see anything too important with it either, so let me just see what we can maybe get as a third line center. Like a guy like Chandler Stevenson or Cody Glass would be great, but their value is quite high. All right, boys, I wonder if this is going to go through here. I'm going to try to trade for Shane Pinto to be our third line center here. He's okay. He's not playing any time in Ottawa, right? Which is the main reason that I want him on this roster. He also has 85 defensive awareness. He's got 85 offensive awareness as well. Good skater, decent physical. So he's a big body. I think he can maybe help us for the playoff run. And this could be the third line center that we're really looking for here. I'm not sure if this will go through. Rejected. Okay, no there whatsoever. But look at this. We're running so low on picks. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks for next year, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks. Or sorry, 5 picks for next year, 5 picks for this year. I don't want to get too far below that either. So and then they want medium elite goalies, and then they want medium elite prospects, basically, which I'm not willing to give up for a guy like Shane Pinto. All right, I'm going to throw in Koryaluk here. We drafted him in the sixth round. He's a low top 6 forward, never really gonna make it. And then I'll also put in 2 years from now, a 6th round pick. What do you say to this, Ottawa? I know it's not what you're asking for, but it could help you out. Logan Hutsko, just a depth guy. You're using Shane Pinto as a depth guy as well, and you're getting a prospect and a pick for him. What do you say? They're gonna reject this. Wow, close to fair value though, so probably a 7th would get it done in there. And I think I'm going to give them Bauer. Would Bauer go through here? You're getting a 2 prospect. I mean, Bauer's not really a prospect. You're getting a prospect, a 6th round pick, and a guy who you can just use in the same position that you're using Shane Pinto in. What do you say to this? Accepted. Okay, so that's a pretty good deal for Shane Pinto, I think. We've got him on the roster. Other than that, I don't think we make many more trades. I mean, I'm pretty barren in the trade value category anyways. I don't have much of it. So a guy like Jake Evans, he would need like a 3rd, a 2nd, maybe a big prospect, a medium top 6 prospect. So I'm not willing to do that. And look at this. Look at this type of trade. They want my medium elite goalie and my medium top 6 forward for 3 picks and Danton Heinen. I'm not willing to do that trade whatsoever, man. Whatsoever. I'm not willing to do that trade. I just want to do a quick rant here, guys, as well. I absolutely hate how EA has a find trade option and then they have a find trade open block, and you can't use either of them to actually find a trade. Like, for example, if I was looking to trade for Philip Hedl, there's nothing available. I pressed find open trade L1. That should give me all the trades, not just using my trade block and their trade block. That should give me every single trade. And if I click square, can't find any trades. Oh, let's try Timo Meyer on the open block. Can't find any trades. Okay, well, how about Daniel Sprong? Oh, I can't find any trades there either. Like, it makes no sense. Teuvo Teravainen, no trades for him. Yaroslav Askarov, can I find anything? No, of course not. Because your game is ridiculous, EA Sports. If I go into the NBA game, NBA 2K24, and I press find trade for Joel Embiid or Giannis Antetokounmpo or something like that, they'll give me a ridiculous trade, but at least it's something to work with. This game gives me absolutely nothing. It's crazy. These aren't even like the best players in the league. He's an 87 overall. I guarantee you, go press find a trade on somebody in NBA 2K24 who's an 87 overall, and you're going to get some trade options. I guarantee it. It's ridiculous that I can't press find trade. I know it's something small, but it just makes me so angry. What about Thomas Novak? Okay, I can find a trade for him because his value is lower, right? But a guy who has high value, you can't find any trades for them, which just should not be the case. And if you cannot find trades for them, they should not be in the trade deadline. They should be listed as untouchable or something like that. It's just ridiculous, man. All right, here are some blockbuster trades that went down at the deadline. Mark Stone moves from Vegas to Carolina. That's a crazy one that makes Vegas a bit worse as well. And Emil Bemstrong also goes to Carolina. Adam Lowry's on the block. Boys. Adam Lowry was another guy on our list that we were looking at picking up. He makes 1.665. I don't know if we can carry his contract, but I will claim Adam Lowry off waivers. Welcome back to Winnipeg, my friend. All right, you guys, and in case you were interested in some of the trades here, I'll just move up for you. Adam Boqvist goes to Boston. Tampa get Ilya Samsonov. Kirby Dach goes to Seattle. Bobby Brink is now in the Islanders organization. Michael Bunting with Montreal. Anybody else important? Roman Josi goes to Montreal as well. Wow. Okay, that's kind of interesting there. Isaac Lundstrom to Seattle. Zach Whitecloud to Nashville. Noah Gregor, Husso goes to San Jose. Damon Severson to Detroit. I don't see anything crazy. Thomas Novak goes to Colorado there. Cody Glass to Carolina. And Mark Stone to Carolina. So Carolina really suiting up. Carolina gets a bunch of players here. So interesting stuff. Montreal as well with Michael Bunting and Roman Josi. So Montreal and Carolina both making big pushes out in the East. Didn't see anybody too crazy in the West that made any changes. So let me go show you guys what the lines look like after the trade deadline. And also good news, we got Mats Dahl back here once again. But guys, here's one reason why I never go into the trade deadline. I went in, I did all the trades and stuff, and look what happens. My lines get messed up. So it's not the end of the world because I think I remember what they were, but like this has been a problem since they introduced that little mini game into the trade deadline, man. This has to change. This absolutely has to change, like now. It's ridiculous that this is still a problem in this game, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. Okay, we're going to go with Brad Lambert here. I mean, I don't know what the lines are going to look like now. Shane Pinto, because I guess Shane Pinto is going to be our third line center. But, I mean, Lambert's relegated to the third line now. Protas has been great. Protas has been phenomenal. I mean, he's got 9.6 games. Maybe Phil Danault comes out. Brad Lambert stays in. Tyler Seguin comes in now. This is the new fourth line with Danault out of the lineup. These lines look pretty rough, so we'll go with what we've been running with here that's been working. One of the best defensive pairings in the NHL. Trouba and Mats Dahl will start. I'll stay with Jake Bernard Docker and Zach Werenski for now. JBD's a +9, Werenski's a +8. But if we start losing games, I will not hesitate to throw Trouba up to that second line. And even all my power play lines are messed up as well, boys. So let me do this. Hang on. Okay, now that all that shenanigans is out of the way, this is what the lines are going to look like. Connor, Perfetti, Velarde, Besser, Lucius, Ehlers, Barker, Pinto, Scheifele, Sagan, Lambert, and Protas, with the defense looking like Brodin, Morrissey, Werenski, JBD, Mats Dahl, Jacob Trouba, and in goal, we're still sticking with Jet Greaves. I haven't given up on him. He has good numbers, but just whenever we go in there, he falls apart in that third period. So let's try to not go into any games and hope that the calendar simulation can get us to win some games here in the regular season. Now, we need to go on a big stretch here. Vancouver, they're fighting for a wild card spot, so this is a huge game against them. Let's try to get this dub after the trade deadline. I can't go a week without having to make significant changes, man. Oh my god. Okay, just replace for now. I'll go in and change it. But can we get the win? No, of course. We lose to Vancouver with the new lines. Oh my god. Okay, these are the new lines now. Mats Dahl is going to jump up to the second line. Tucker Poolman will play third line with Jacob Trouba. And then first line will be Zach Werenski and Jonas Brodin. Let me also do the power plays. Hey, can we finally get like a week of simulation? I'm getting incredible. I just want to throw my controller right now. I know these are like all small things, but they just add up to make me not even be able to play this game. That's a 4-1 win against the Kings. Another win here. Let's go to the end of the week. Can we get some wins against... Oh my god, oh my god, oh my... Just replace the player. I don't care. Just replace it. Phil Dano goes in. Okay, Morrissey's back. That's good news. Be happy for good news. All right, 4-2 loss against Chicago because of course it is. Then Seattle, they're a horrible team, and that's a 5-3 loss. Nice. Love to see it. We are now no longer in a wild card spot. This has just been a horrible video. Oh my god, boys. 5-2. What is going on here? I don't know why we changed this second line. They were doing great in the regular, like throughout the entirety of last video, and we changed it up. And Brock Besser's a -6 now. I can't have that happening. Melvin Barker also, you're -7. I can't have you messing up my flow on the third line either. They were great as well. So this needs to change like this. Phil Dano will play center. Actually, no, he's -6. He will come out for, I guess, Logan O'Connor will go in there. Protis can play the center, and Melvin Barker can play the left side. That gets a +2 on that line. Defensively now, let's swap these guys like this. I think that's maybe how I had it before. GBD, Mats Dahl. We're going to throw Jacob Trouba up to that second line. Hope that he can perform a little bit better there. And then in goal, I'm going to make sure Otto Rutigal is on and Jet Greaves plays the most games. All right, boys, we have 75 points here in 68 games. We're currently out of a playoff spot. We need to start winning, and we need to start winning right now because the Ducks are also ahead of us, so we need to win. The Ducks need to lose, and so do the Canucks here. We're going to go in and watch this game because it's a big one. First period, 1-0 for the Islanders. Of course it is. Second period, 3-3. We tie back up. Nice. And then in the third period, we're going to lose here, I'm sure, because, of course, we can never keep a lead or play well in the third period. Let's just skip through this a little bit faster here. What will happen? 5 minutes remain in this third period. Can we get anything going, or are we going to... Oh, Cole Perfetti! Nice, with 20 seconds left. He's going to score that one, and I believe that might be our first real-time sim win that we've had in quite some time, and we are in a wild card spot now. We just got to desperately hold on to this. We got to win so many games in a row here, and let's see if that builds the momentum for us. Come on now, down to the Minnesota game. Can we get this win against the Islanders once again? I believe a Stanley Cup final rematch, and that's another 4-3 victory. Jared McIsaac on the waivers. I'm not picking you up. Thomas Milic is fully back. Yeah, just continue, whatever, it's fine. Okay, and now we're no longer in a wild card spot, but we do have one game in hand on the Anaheim Ducks. So do we play the Ducks at all anytime? No, we don't, but we do have 2 more games against the Vancouver Canucks. That is insane. Okay, Minnesota. Can we beat Minnesota? They're a good team. No, I don't need you. That's a win against Minnesota, and we are on a 3-game winning streak when it matters the most, boys. We are becoming very clutch here. 81 points. Now, Vancouver. This is the biggest game of the season right here. Can we beat Vancouver? Yes, we do. 6-2. Nice. Thomas Ekman-Larsson's back. Just best lines down there. I don't care about the AHL right now. 83 points in 72 games. We are cooking right now. Up against Calgary. It's a big game. They're a Western Conference team. We lose 2-1. Okay, what did that do? Calgary was already in the playoffs, though, so that doesn't matter too much for us. I mean, getting points obviously always matters, but not the end of the world that we lose to Calgary there. All right, next we're going to be taking a little bit of an Eastern Conference road trip here, but still these games are very important because we got to get wins. I'm not sure if that was a win or a loss, but that was a 4-0 win. It was okay, we're 2 wins in a row here. Oh my goodness, and the boys are playing when it matters most. We desperately want to be in these playoffs here. 87 points in 75 games. I mean, it's looking okay, but we're not out of the woods quite yet here. Here's against the Rangers, 6-1 loss, and then Adam Lowry's been hurt down there in the AHL. That's tough. Vegas, that's a 4-3 win. Oh my goodness, and the wild card spot is looking more and more likely by the day here. But the Canucks are still winning games. Everybody's winning right now, so we got to keep winning. Up against the Canucks, a huge game here, and then Minnesota, another huge game. Actually, no, Dallas is no, Dallas is not a big game at all. Minnesota's a pretty big game, but they've already clinched. This is a huge game, Vancouver, biggest game of our season right now, and it's a Tyler Seguin's fully back. Okay, it's a 3-2 loss. Okay, I don't like that. I do not like that, and now we are only 2 points ahead of the Canucks going into the game against the Wild. Our own fate is in our hands at this point here. Can we beat the tough Minnesota Wild, or is this going to be a disappointing season? That's a big win against the Minnesota Wild, a 2-1 victory, and Jet Greaves has been playing great so far. Now Dallas, they're a bad team, so I'm sure we're going to get blown out 11-0, and we win 7-5, nice, and we've clinched the playoffs with that victory. Oh my gosh, what a crazy end to the season. But we clinch, and now the last 2 games, I don't even care if we lose them both. It doesn't matter to me. Oh my gosh, what a season from the Winnipeg Jets. Oh my gosh, and in year number 6, we make the playoffs for the 6th consecutive year here. We finish 45, 32, and 5, which is just good enough to get us into the playoffs. 15th, we got 3.45 goals for per game. That's great. And 3.11 goals against per game. That's not fantastic at all. A 17% power play, which I think dropped significantly, but a 82% power play, which went up. So our power play did go up after the trade deadline, but our power play dropped like crazy. Let's just take a quick look at this, boys. Look at this. 9th place and 8th place both missed the playoffs because of the way that the NHL playoffs work, which is absurd. They finished with 98 and 97 points, but since the East is so strong, they miss out on the playoffs. That's insane to me, which means, oh my gosh, and even another Eastern Conference team got in because the Metro was weaker than the Atlantic. What is the way that the playoffs work is absurd, dude. The Pittsburgh Penguins squeak in somehow. Crazy stuff over there. In the East, the Devils are the worst team in the league, followed by the Blue Jackets, Seattle Kraken, Dallas, and Philadelphia up there. That's absolutely absurd, boys. Oh my gosh, I can't get over that. Wow. But President's Trophy winners are the New York Rangers, going 54, 23, and 5. A lot of mid-40s winning teams here. I don't know how we made it in. That last stretch was wild. It was insane, but we make it in at number 15, and I will gladly take that. Looking over our entire season now, and it was Kyle Connor and Cole Perfetti that were really shouldering the load. Kyle Connor almost gets a 50-goal season. That would have been his first with us. He's only had 39, so this is a big year for him with us as the GM in the goal category anyways. And Cole Perfetti as well. This is a career year for Cole Perfetti. I believe it is. Yes, it is, by a mile as well. Oh my gosh, 81 and 82. The Conn Smythe winner of last year has a career year to follow it up. Nikolai Ehlers, 74 points, 0 though. So that second line, man, I couldn't get that second line going in the second half of the season. 61 out of Chaz Lucius though is a career high for him. So that's nice to see. 21 goals, 40 assists. Josh Morrissey, 53 points. Disappointing in Josh Morrissey. Zach Werenski, 53. That's fine for a second-line defenseman. That's pretty good, actually. Brock Besser, disappointing season from Brock Besser, but on that third line, he brought his plus-minus back to a good place anyway, so we'll take it. Gabriel Velarde on the first line, plus 30. Best plus-minus on the entire team is Gabriel Velarde. That is lovely to see. He's a great first-line player for us. Mark Scheifele only played 62 games, but he had 45 points in those 62, so that's great. Brad Lambert played all 82, and he had 37. Decent third-line center for us. Tyler Seguin had 36 points in 66 games. Good free agency pickup, in my opinion. Jacob Trouba, what did he do for us? He had 8 points in 20 games. He was a +5 playing second-line time with Zach Werenski. Good pickup for us. I'm sure he helped out the penalty kill as well. Melvin Barker, in his rookie season, had 33 points and a -7. He had 17 goals, so almost a 20-goal season in your rookie year. We will take that. He tore it up in the AHL last year. Hopefully he gets some growth over the off-season here. I'm happy that he had 4 power play goals because he was the finisher on that second power play. Maybe that's why I didn't do quite as well, but with 5-star shooting, I mean, I figured he would be able to put the puck in the back of the net. So sue me. Jonas Brodin with 28 points in, and he was a +20 as well. Good to see. Alexei Protas was okay. Phil Dano was meh. Shane Pinto, what did he do for us? He was 13 points in 20 games. That's beautiful. +9 as well. Huge performance from Shane Pinto as our third line center. JBD, decent season. I'm not going to complain. Mats Dahl in his rookie year, 4 goals, 7 assists for 11 points. -1, kind of on the more downside, but hopefully he can get some more time next year. Maybe play second line time with Zach Werenski, or maybe even first line time with Josh Morrissey if we get rid of Jonas Brodin. But again, those are questions for another time. Looking at the goalies now, Jet Greaves played 60 games. He went 30, 26, and 3, 2 shutouts, 909 save percentage, 3.00 goals against average. We are definitely hurting without Connor Hellebuck playing at his elite status here, and he's got 2 more years left on that tough deal at $8.5 million. Looking at the entire league, it's Adam Fox, a defenseman, leading the entire league in points with 103. That's crazy. So scoring was down this year in the NHL. Kucherov with 102, Connor Bedard with 101, McKinnon with 100, Zibanejad 100, Cale Makar with 100, Mikko Rantanen, Philip Forsberg. I mean, interesting names that we're seeing up here. I can't believe that Adam Fox led the entire league in point scoring. That's absurd to me. Elias Lindholm, Elias Pettersson, Brandon Hagel with 88, playing with Nikita Kucherov. He must be. What a crazy simulation this has been. Not crazy in the goal category by any means, but I just mean the fact that everything is so down, and it's a very strange simulation. Goal-wise, Austin Matthews leads with 59. He's going to win that. Maurice Richard. Points-wise, we obviously know it's going to Adam Fox, which is, I've never seen that before. Looking at the Norris Trophy now, Fox, then Makar, and then the next best defenseman, 68, was Moritz Seider, Miro Heiskanen, Morgan Riley, Shea Theodore, Brendan Montour, Rasmus Dahlin. Here's Noah Dobson with 59. Where is our boy Josh Morrissey? Josh, where are you? Zach Werenski and Josh Morrissey both tied at 53 here. Wait, oh yeah, Josh Morrissey, but he only played 75 games, so maybe he'd get a few more points, but still not near the top, which is unfortunate. Goaltenders was Stuart Skinner, who's had a great year. Wow, 920 save percentage, 2.54 goals against average. Behind him is Igor Shesterkin, and then after that, all these other guys kind of, they're not really great here after that. Rookie skaters, does Melvin Barker have a chance? I don't think so. 45 points for Juha Tuppurainen, a high draft pick, first round, 4th overall. Then Cam Arson, and then Melvin Barker. So he's going to be the 3rd best rookie in scoring wise, well tied for 3rd with Andrew Crystal here, who's a 77 overall. All right, fair enough. But Melvin Barker might get some votes just because he's more of a goal scorer. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work, but he was tied for the most goals out of all rookies, so maybe he gets some votes, but he's definitely not going to win the thing, but that's okay. Any rookie goalies here? No, not really. This guy only played 5 games. So that's what the league looks like. A very down year for scoring here in 2029, which is interesting to say the least. And now let's take a look at who we will see in round number 1, and it is... I'm so done, bro. I'm so done with this game. It's the Chicago Blackhawks, who had only 1 more win, but they had 5 less regulation losses, and so they were like the best team in our division. Nice. Okay, well, we know the story with the Chicago Blackhawks. I'm sure you guys are bored to death of hearing me say it, but we're playing them once again. So in year number 1, we played these guys, and they beat us. In year 1, round 1, they smoked us. Well, they didn't smoke us. It was like 5 games or 6 games or something like that. And I was livid. I was so livid. Zach Parise got the game-winning goal. Or no, he got the goal to put them up 3-0. And I was just fuming. This guy, Connor Bedard, 93 overall. Yeah, he gets it done in the playoffs. He had a 100-point season this year. Before that, though, this is really his breakout year if you think about it. So interesting career for Bedard so far. They have Adam Bennick, a playmaker, to play with Bedard. That's a pretty good choice, actually. But other than that, they've got Lucas Reichel, 88 overall, who, what kind of a season did he have? 79 points. It's pretty good, but playing with Bedard, you kind of want more. Then Andrei Kuzmenko, who had 61. Okay. Berkeley Catton, how much is he doing? He's a 70 kind of point guy. All right, fair enough. If you throw Berkeley Catton, you should honestly have your line of Berkeley Catton, Connor Bedard, Lucas Reichel, because then you have a shooter, a playmaker in Berkeley Catton, and a two-way forward in Lucas Reichel. I think that would be much better. Or even Peyton Krebs, who's a good playmaker as well. But either way, their third line doesn't look great. Their fourth line doesn't look great either. I think we have better depth, but they've got the better all-star in Connor Bedard. Other than that, Korchinski and Seth Jones, good D pairing. But other than that, it's looking rough down here. It's looking pretty rough indeed. And then in goal, Dan Vladar. So similar to Jet Greaves. I just know what's going to happen. I'm going to turn it on, when I go to record the next one. We're going to win the first 2 games, and then we're going to get swept the rest of the way. We're going to lose in 6. I can already feel it. But either way, that's what this line, or this is what these Chicago lines look like here. They do have a good team. So, I mean, if we lose to the Blackhawks, we lose to the Blackhawks for the 3rd time in a row. But what are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? They have a good team, actually. So, but that is going to do it for this one, guys. If you liked it, feel free to give it a like, comment if you're new, and subscribe. We have new videos coming out every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So I hope you enjoy those if you go ahead and watch them. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Peace out.